through words, is it possible to realize the self? The self cannot be realized as an object. Show me the self. It's not possible. Okay? Self is realized as subject, the eternal subject. How the subject self is realized as eternal subject? Are you conscious? If I ask you a question, you say I am conscious. Now give me a proof that you are conscious. How do you know that you are conscious? Then you say I know I am conscious. I don't need a proof for that. I know I am conscious. Do you exist? Yes, I exist. You don't need a proof that you exist. You don't need a proof that you are conscious. It is so self-evident, obvious to you. When I say I am conscious, that means I have the knowing ability. For example, the stone is not consciousness because I know about the stone. The stone does not know about me. So the consciousness or knowing ability is self-evident for me. It is self-effulgent. Doesn't require any proof. So since it doesn't require any proof, it's self-effulgent, and you know that I am the self. The self can be recognized as distinct from the intellect. The intellect gets eliminated by the self. The intellect, with the elimination by the self, it starts developing of I and mine. The I and mine ideas are nothing but what? Nothing but the I and mine is what you call as ego. So the intellect in the presence of the self starts self illuminates the intellect. Just like electricity by its mere presence makes the bulb glow, makes the fan rotate. This, due to the presence of the self, the intellect starts developing the sentience, appears to be sentient, appears to be conscious. Intellect by itself is not conscious. And the moment intellect gets a consciousness, it starts developing the ideas I and mine. These I and mine ideas are called ego. So the ego identifies with the object called body. The self is realizable because it is self-evident to me. I am conscious, I exist. But I mistake myself to be the body and mind because of the ideas which are developed in the intellect called ego. Okay. All that I have to do is separate myself from the ego. I am separate from the ego. I am the luminous consciousness which illuminates the intellect. Intellect itself is not self-luminous. This understanding is required to recognize your own self as I am the self. Self is not realized as an object. So like you say, oh, this is flower. You cannot say, you cannot identify self as an object at all. You can identify self as I am the self, I am consciousness. You can say I am Brahman when you recognize yourself as Brahman. But you cannot say I know Brahman, because I know Brahman means Brahman becomes an object. I am Brahman means Brahman becomes subject. Now this I am idea is also developed in the intellect. So this I am idea which is developed in the intellect points to the object rather than the subject. So tracing the root of I am, you recognize the real self, which is pure awareness, which is myself.